Hey guys, welcome to the final day of the virtual yoga retreat. It's been so great connecting with you guys, seeing videos of where you're practicing, your pictures, and I want to continue to offer this style of yoga classes. I'm kind of in my head, I'm brainstorming ideas to offer an anatomy workshop, maybe like a 4-day one. And then I also want to do maybe more restorative yoga and meditation kind of later on. I just want to keep this content flowing because this is bringing me a lot of love and light during this time. So here we are, the last day of the virtual yoga retreat. We're going to be tying this all together. Everything that we've learned and worked on, from mountain pose to the warrior poses to some of these kind of transitions, and maybe even a little restorative yoga and meditation at the end. So this is a little more well-rounded practice than the other days, but it's just, taking all the elements that we've learned and putting them all together into one puzzle. So I recommend 2 blocks, a blanket. If you don't have a blanket, you can use a towel or any sort of blanket laying around your house. We can also use blocks if you don't have any books or canned goods, if you've been using that. And if you've really enjoyed working with the chair to do, like for some of the transitions or for forward folds, feel free to, I want you guys to learn these tools to make, to have your own practice. Even if it's just very basic and introductory, it can grow from there. So if you like using the chair, if you need it to help you get up and down from the floor, just have one handy and make sure to try it out, to use it out. So we're gonna start in a comfortable seated position. We'll come to your yoga mat. You can sit up on blocks like we did for day 1. And for a moment, just close your eyes, connect to your breath. Connect to all the sounds that you hear. And it's really sweet, these home practices that we're starting to develop. We can't make our environments like 100% perfect, right? We're always going to hear the lawnmowers in the back or the garbage truck going by. That's just another element to add into how we can dive into our body, into our mind and our breath to keep our awareness inward. So bring your hands into prayer, and if you remember the intention that you set for your practice on day 1, you can go back to that intention, or you can think of something else, just be here now is a really good mantra that we can use. And whatever your intention is, we'll bow into that, honoring your time, honoring your body. And just dedicate this next 30 or 45 minutes to really listening to all of the messages that your body sends you. We'll inhale and lift your head. And exhale, release your arms down. And open your eyes. So I always like to get my practices started laying down in a bridge pose, which we haven't really talked about yet, but it's a pretty easy one. So I'll go ahead and guide you all through. If you don't have a block, no worries, you don't need one, but they are helpful. So come to lay on your back. We'll take a block, it's medium setting, in between your thighs. Spread your toes and feel the alignment of the spine. So how can we find mountain pose here? Well, it's pretty easy because we have this nice feedback. We understand how our spine is positioned right now, and we want to work on getting the shoulder blades together. Arms come down by your sides. Squeeze into your blocks, spread your toes, and we'll lift your hips a couple of inches off the floor. From here, kind of tuck your tailbone up towards the ceiling, core moves in and down towards your back. Bring your palms on top of your hips and create a little diamond with your thumbs coming together and your pointer fingers coming together. And really pull all of your energy into this region. We'll start to lift and lower the hips just a couple of inches, starting to warm up the back body, warm up the glutes. Take a few big breaths here. Last one. And we'll slowly lower down one vertebra at a time. We'll take the block out from in between your legs, place it over to the side. We'll interlace your fingers behind your head. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, squeeze your elbows together and lift your head and shoulders. I always like to warm up the core and the glutes before class gets started. It just helps us stay more lifted up. It kind of helps provide this sense of buoyancy. Press your head back into your hands and lift up off your shoulders a little bit more. Inhale and lower slowly. Exhale and lift up, head and shoulders. Keep the elbows hugging together. We're going to take the left leg straight up to the ceiling. Press up with the left heel. Bend the left knee and bring the left foot to the floor. Inhale and slowly lower your head. Exhale and lift up, head and shoulders. Take the right leg up. Flex the right foot, spread the toes, reach up through the right heel. Bend your right knee. Inhale and slowly release your head. Exhale and lift up, head and shoulders. Take the left leg up to the ceiling. Twist your chest to the left. Pause and say all the fun things that are firing right now. Come to center, bend your left knee. Inhale and release your head down. Exhale and lift up, head and shoulders. Squeeze the core in and down. Take the right leg high and rotate your chest to the right. Come to center. Bring your right foot to the floor. Inhale and lower your head. Exhale and lift head and shoulders. Take the left leg up to the ceiling. Twist your chest to the left. And this time we're going to reach your right arm out, just right next to the left knee. Bring the right hand behind the head, come to center. Ground the left foot, inhale and slowly lower. One last time, exhale and lift up. Take the right leg to the ceiling, twist to the right. Reach the left arm. Bring the left hand behind the head, come to center. Right foot and head lower as you inhale. And exhale through the mouth. Take your feet as wide as your sticky mat. And we'll drop your knees to the left without moving your feet. Take your arms wide out to a T. And reach your right knee further away from you. Nice stretch for the front of the right hip. Inhale, come to center. And exhale, drop the knees to the right. Reach your left knee further away. Take a breath here. Now rise up. Hug your knees into your chest. We'll roll over to the right side. And press yourself on up to seated. We're all going to meet at the front of your mat in tabletop pose. So remember, if you have sensitive knees, we will be doing some low lunges. So grab a blanket, you can put it under your knees. So pointer finger points forward. Dial the hands out to the sides. Knees are underneath the hips and maybe in just a little bit more. Squeeze your shoulder blades down away from your ears. And just take a breath here. We're going to do those scapular push-ups to warm up the shoulders. So press down into the floor, feel the chest kind of lift up away. And then keep the arms straight, but let the chest soften down towards the floor. Squeeze the shoulder blades together on the back. Press the floor down and away. Feel the shoulder blades move away from the spine. And then keep the arms straight, but soften the chest. Shoulder blades hug together. Do this a few more rounds. We're going to go for about 6 more times. Just starting to feel that mobilization happen. Maybe you feel some creaks and pops. That's good. Okay, and then from here, we're gonna kind of find that good alignment. So soften the chest down, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then press the floor down and away just a little bit. From here, we're gonna lift your hips up into a downward facing dog. Bend your knees and lift your waist. Ears are in line with your arms. Gazes towards your knees or towards your toes. And take a few breaths here. You can bend one knee deeper and press the opposite heel down. And then bend your opposite knee and press the other heel down, just kind of alternating. We'll inhale, lift the gaze. Walk your feet forward to the front of the mat. If you need to walk your hands back to your feet a little bit, that's totally fine. Bring your hands to your hips. Lengthen the spine as you inhale and rise up. Step to the front of the mat, coming into mountain pose. We'll inhale, lift the arms high overhead. Hook your thumbs and grow tall through your spine. Reach the fingertips up to the ceiling. And exhale, arch to the left. Side bend. It's really nice for opening up all the intercostals, these muscles in between your ribs. Inhale, rise up to center. Change the way you hooked your thumbs. And exhale to the left. Press down through the legs, find that mountain pose, even though we're bending over sideways. Inhale, rise up to center. And exhale, release the arms down by your side. We're going to stay at the front of your mat. We'll add in a little more of this flow, a little more of these transitions. So inhale, lift the arms high overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips. You can bring your fingertips into your hips if you are working on that. That's your new goal for the next couple of weeks. Use your hands to press down into your shins and lengthen up halfway. Breathe in. And exhale, we're going to step your right foot back. Lower down onto the right knee. Make sure your feet are about as wide as your hips before you come all the way up. Take the arms to the ceiling. Squeeze the right glute lightly. Big breath. And as you exhale, bring your hands down to blocks or to the floor. And we'll lift the right knee. Step the right foot forward. Lengthen the spine. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor or to blocks. Step the left foot back. Lower onto the left knee. Keep the left toes tucked under. And we'll rise on up, lifting the arms. Keep the tailbone lengthening down. Draw the rib cage up away from the hips. One big breath. As you exhale, hands to the floor. We're going to cat your spine and bring your right knee down, coming back into tabletop. We'll do a few rounds of cat and cow. So as you inhale, let your belly get heavy, lift your tailbone, press your chest forward. As you exhale, tilt the tailbone down, draw in your belly and the low ribs, puff up through the back of the chest. Let your belly sink down as you lift your tailbone. Inhale, lift your gaze. Exhale, round the spine, tuck your tailbone down. Chin to chest, cat pose. One more time, inhale, belly sinks down. Lift your tailbone. Pull the shoulders down away from the ears. And exhale, round to stay in cat pose. From cat pose, we're gonna step your left foot forward. Remember, you can use your hand. And step the left knee back down. Big breath in. Exhale, cap the spine. Step the right foot forward. And then bring the right knee back down. We'll do this a few more times. Just working on keeping that cat shape of the spine as you step your feet forward into the outer edges of the hands. For 3, 2, last one, and then we'll stay in tabletop. Take your knees a little bit wider than your hips, and then press your seat towards your heels. And begin to walk your arms out long and bring your forehead down to the floor or to a block. If you have a block handy, this is a very comfortable way to practice child's pose. And know that this pose is always here for you. If you feel a shortness of breath or feel like things are becoming challenging, you can always resort back to this pose to rest a little bit. Walk your hands back just a little bit. We'll rise back up. It's tabletop pose. We'll send your left toes back and lift the left foot without letting your belly sink down. You can stay here, or you can start to take the right fingertips forward. Maybe you start to lift the right arm. Keep everything nice and strong. One more breath. Use your left fingertips. And exhale, bring the right hand down. Bring the left knee down. Slide the right toes back. Keep the core lifting. Maybe start to lift the right foot. You can slide your left hand forward. Maybe you lift the left arm. One more breath. And release the left hand and the right knee. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. Coming into downward facing dog. We'll take 2 breaths here. Inhale, lift your gaze. Step or walk or jump to the front of your mat. Lengthen the spine halfway. And exhale, fold. Bring your hands to your hips, squeeze your elbows together, root down to rise. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, stand tall, mountain pose. You'll need to have your blocks handy, or your books, or whatever it is that you're using. We'll just bring them to the front of the mat. It's kind of funny, sometimes I realize I just throw my props everywhere and I have to go and fish for them in the middle of a pose. So it's nice to just have them right there. So coming into mountain pose, standing tall, inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, hands come down to your blocks. Inhale, lift up halfway. And we're going to exhale, step your right foot back. Make sure your feet are as wide as your hips. And then we're gonna walk your blocks back, and maybe your right foot back even more, so that we can come into lunge. The blocks help for us to keep our spine long versus kind of rounding and feeling really uncomfortable. And from here, we're gonna take your right foot so that it's at a 45-degree angle. We're coming into warrior one. So if you remember, this left knee is stacked over the left ankle. The right foot is at a 45-degree angle, and we're gonna rise up onto the left thigh. Bring your hands to your hips and pull this right hip forward as you draw the left hip back. Lengthen the tailbone down as you pull your core in and up, and we'll lift the arms. So as you're here, remember the spirals. This left leg is kind of spiraling out so that you can get your knee in line with your second and third toes. And this back leg is kind of spiraling in and wide to broaden the pelvis. Big breath in. And we'll exhale, bring your hands down to your blocks or even to a chair. And we're gonna pick up the right heel again. Take your blocks forward, and we'll start to lift the right leg coming into a warrior three. Keeping the spine long, really imagining those spirals so left foot plugs into the floor, but it also kind of dials out to the left. You can stay here or you can bring your hands into prayer. Back foot spirals in, toes point down to the floor, and then we'll just release the right foot down next to the left. Keep the spine long as you breathe in. And we'll breathe out, fold in just a little bit deeper. Bring your hands to your hips, squeeze your elbows together, root down. So inhale, rise up, arms lift. Exhale, release the arms. Find your mountain pose. Everything is nice and strong. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, we're gonna step the left foot back. Bring your blocks back so they frame the front leg. And we're gonna bring this right foot down to find warrior one again. So remember, feet are as wide as your hips. Left toes are at a 45-degree angle. And we'll root down through the legs to rise on up. Bring your hands to your hips and pull the left hip forward as you draw your right hip back. Lengthen the tailbone down. Spread your toes and we'll lift the arms. Right foot dials out, left leg spirals in and wide. One more breath. And exhale, release the hands down to your blocks. Rise up, so you're on the ball of the left foot. And we'll take your blocks, your books, your chair, more forward so you can lift the left leg, coming into warrior three. So if you notice, my hands are just directly under my shoulders. This right leg is spiraling out just a little bit, left leg is spiraling in so the toes point down towards the floor. Core is lifted, spine is long. You can bring your hands to prayer if you would like. And we'll bring your hands back down, release the left foot. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hands to hips. We're going to ground down through the legs to rise up. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, release the arms down by your side. Find the mountain pose. And then we'll take a little rest. So we're going to move the blocks just a little further forward so that we can practice these sun salutations. So have it over here. If you have a block or your chair, use what you can. Come to mountain pose. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back plank pose. You can stay in a high plank or come onto your knees. Straighten the legs and then lift your hips up and back. Walk your feet in a little bit. Downward dog. Bend your knees and send your hips up and back. We'll take 3 breaths here. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhaling and exhaling. One more. We're going to inhale, lift the gaze, step or jump forward, lengthen the spine as you breathe in, and exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms high overhead. Exhale, release the arms. Still stay active in your mountain pose. And we're all gonna come to, we wanna be in a wide-legged stance on your mat. So we're gonna work on our warrior twos. So from your wide-legged stance, find a good mountain pose here too. Lengthen the tailbone down. Find that good alignment in the spine. Line the outer corners of your feet, so pinky toe to heel. We're going to point your right toes forward. Make sure this right heel, if you could, draw a line that it would bisect the arch of the left foot. We're going to bend into this right knee and dial that right foot out energetically. So you're not actually doing it, but you're feeling that action happen. And then we'll take the arms out to a T. It's always funny to look at the front arm and then to look at the back arm. Sometimes it's way down here. And we'll start by taking the gaze over the right middle finger. And we'll switch to bring your gaze over the left middle finger. Just a little something different for the neck. And then we'll bring your hands to your hips, straighten the right leg, and point your right toes to the long side of your mat. We'll do the other side. So take your left toes, point them to the back of the mat, bend your left knee, and remember to dial that left foot out. This right leg kind of spirals in and goes wide as you reach the arms out. Gaze is over the middle finger of the left hand. Take a breath here. Feel the shoulder blades hug together on the back, just like in mountain pose. Take the gaze over the right middle finger. Take the gaze forward, hands come to your hips. Straighten the left leg and point your left toes to that long side of the mat. So to get out of this, you can either do one foot at a time in, or you can just jump the legs together. And we'll come to the front of your mat for just couple more little things. So find mountain pose. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step back, plank. Lower onto the knees. And we're gonna your glutes, lift your chest, and then we'll start to walk your hands a little more forward so that you can come down onto your stomach. I like to use my hands underneath one of my cheeks. And from here, we'll just bend your knees and windshield wiper the legs from side to side. We'll take the legs long and we'll do a little back bend. So bring your hands under your shoulders. Bring your forehead to the floor. Lift your belly. Lift it up away from the floor. You'll have to tuck your tailbone and press your hips down. Feel your shoulder blades lift and squeeze together on the back. Keep all these actions happening as you start to peel your chest up. Without cranking your neck, remember just finding that neutral place. And plug your hands into the mat and squeeze them towards the back of the mat. You can lift your toes if you would like. One more breath. And exhale, release. Bring your opposite cheek down to your hand. And just rock the hips from side to side. Roll onto your back. And hug your knees into your chest. Just taking a moment to pause. Taking a moment to check in with yourself. And we'll do a little spinal twist. So take your arms out into a T, or if you don't have that much space, you can cactus your arms. And we'll drop your knees towards your right elbow, just as high as you can go comfortably. Oftentimes we have a hard time getting this left shoulder down. If you feel any discomfort in that left shoulder because of that, you can take a block underneath, and that'll just kind of help to anchor and to support you a little bit more. Or you can just enjoy the stretch that you're getting in the top of your chest muscles, the pectoral muscles. And we'll do the other side, so we'll inhale, come to center with your knees into the chest. And exhale, drop your knees over to the left, towards the left elbow. So bring the right shoulder down towards the floor or use a block or a blanket. I like to take my gaze just straight up to the ceiling, but some people like to take their gaze the opposite way that their knees are. Just check in, make sure that feels okay on your neck. We'll take 2 more breaths here. We'll inhale, come back to center. We'll let your right hand just stay on the right shin and left hand just stay right there on the left shin as well. And from here, we'll just let the knees fall apart from each other. Coming into just a nice stretch for the inner thighs. You can wrap around from side to side. Hug your knees into your chest. And we'll roll to the right side and press yourself on up to seated. So traditionally, meditation was designed so that we could, traditionally asana, like the physical practice, was designed to help to kind of disperse some of our energy so that we could settle into a meditation practice. So it's always nice, it's just a good time after you're kind of wind down and relaxed a little bit to try to meditate. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do a 5-minute meditation, and I'm gonna use my Insight Timer app on my phone. So it's kind of cool. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's Insight Timer. You can click on the timer button right there, and you can select however long you want to do it. Mine's already plugged in for 5 minutes, but we're gonna go ahead and find your comfortable seat, whether that's on a blanket or a pillow or chair. We'll cross your ankles, sit nice and tall, and you'll hear some bells. The first bell will indicate that it's starting, second bell indicates that it's ending. So we'll go through a few of those mindfulness practices. We'll first start by bringing the awareness to the very tip of your nose. Begin to feel the air as it comes in through the nose. Notice the cooling sensation as it enters. And the warmth of the breath as it leaves. And bring your awareness to your cheeks. Let them feel soft. And let that softness flood down the jaw. Relaxing your jaw completely. Just let the tongue come down from the roof of the mouth. Try to soften your eyes, your forehead. Bring your awareness all the way to the top of your head, to the highest point. And imagine someone was dripping some honey or something that kind of moves at a slow pace. We're dripping it on your head and it's starting to envelop you. Going down the front of your face and the sides and the back. And as it comes over certain muscle groups, just allow them to feel more relaxed, more released. Allowing that to travel down through your chest, through the back. And down your arms and your legs. notice this balance between effort and ease. Because there's effort still and that's holding you upright. But there's this easefulness that creeps into your muscles. There's this easefulness that creeps into your bones. And all of these cells that are working for you, maybe we can just allow them to be at the same frequency, as our mind is. Just allowing it all to simmer. Feeling the effects of your practice will bring your hands to prayer. We'll take another big breath. And bow your head into your heart. Honoring the things in life that are the most important to you. Just value this time that we have to continue to work on our relationships, to continue to give back to your community, and continue to use these practices to help uplift you and to be that reminder that life doesn't always have to be so serious. So thank you so much for doing the 7-day virtual yoga retreat. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your next couple of weeks. I'll be posting more content soon, so stay in touch and take care of yourself. Thank you.